Welcome to Mastering Agile Facilitation. In this course, you'll learn practical techniques to facilitate agile ceremonies and workshops with confidence. Instead of simply running meetings, you'll learn how to engage teams, encourage collaboration, and guide groups toward meaningful decisions. Let's begin by understanding why facilitation matters. Effective facilitation creates better collaboration and better outcomes. Throughout this course, you'll learn how to engage every participant, build psychological safety, and turn discussions into clear decisions and actionable next steps. These skills are valuable for Scrum Masters, Agile Coaches, and anyone leading collaborative sessions. Presenting is about delivering information. Facilitation is about enabling collaboration. Instead of providing all the answers, facilitators create a process where the team explores ideas, discusses different perspectives, and reaches decisions together. The focus shifts from the speaker to the group. A facilitator guides the discussion without controlling the outcome. Stay neutral, listen actively, observe how the group interacts, and manage time effectively. When the process is well facilitated, teams naturally become more engaged, collaborative, and productive. Most meetings fail because the objective is unclear, discussions lose focus, participation is unbalanced, or no decisions are made. A facilitator prevents these issues by providing structure, encouraging equal participation, and ensuring every meeting ends with clear actions. Effective facilitation starts with the right mindset. Be curious instead of judgmental. Listen to understand, not to respond. Trust the facilitation process and remain neutral throughout the discussion. When people feel heard, they are more willing to contribute and commit. Every successful workshop follows a simple flow. Open the session, align on the objective, explore ideas, prioritize solutions, and finish with clear actions. This structure keeps discussions organized while helping teams move efficiently from conversation to commitment. Facilitation balances two thinking modes. First, encourage divergent thinking by generating as many ideas as possible without judgment. Then, switch to convergent thinking to evaluate options, prioritize ideas, and make decisions. Separating these stages leads to better outcomes. A typical workshop begins with a check-in, followed by context setting, brainstorming, discussion, prioritization, and action planning. Following this consistent flow helps maintain engagement and ensures every session ends with clear ownership and next steps. Different situations require different facilitation techniques. Throughout this course, you'll learn practical methods for generating ideas, organizing discussions, prioritizing options, building consensus, and managing group dynamics. Together, these techniques form a complete facilitation toolkit. Every workshop should begin by helping people feel comfortable participating. A simple check-in encourages everyone to speak early, creating psychological safety and increasing engagement. Keep the question easy and personal, such as asking participants to describe their mood or summarize the last sprint in one word. Let's put this technique into practice. Imagine your team has just completed a stressful sprint. Your task is to create 3 check-in questions that encourage openness and reflection. The goal isn't to solve problems yet, but to help everyone feel safe, present, and ready to collaborate. Traditional brainstorming often favors the loudest voices. Brainwriting takes a different approach. Everyone writes their ideas independently before any discussion begins. This encourages equal participation, reduces groupthink, and gives quieter team members the opportunity to contribute their best ideas. Here's a simple brainwriting workflow. First, everyone silently writes down their ideas. Next, similar ideas are grouped together. The team then discusses each group and finally votes on the most valuable solutions. This structured process helps teams solve complex problems while ensuring every voice is heard. Sometimes the best discussions begin with silence. Silent brainstorming gives participants time to think without interruptions or influence from others. It's especially effective for sensitive topics, high-conflict teams, or situations where hierarchy may prevent people from speaking openly. Once ideas have been generated, the next step is prioritization. Dot voting is a simple technique where each participant receives a limited number of votes and selects the ideas they believe will create the greatest value. Before voting, make sure everyone understands the evaluation criteria. This example shows how dot voting quickly identifies the team's priorities. Instead of debating every option, participants vote individually, making the group's preference immediately visible. The facilitator can then focus the discussion on the highest-ranked ideas and move the team toward consensus. After brainstorming, teams often have dozens of ideas to organize. Affinity mapping groups similar ideas into themes, making patterns easier to recognize. Once the themes are identified, the team can discuss them more effectively and focus on the issues that matter most. Imagine you've collected 30 pieces of team feedback. Rather than discussing each one individually, organize them into logical groups and identify the 3 biggest themes. The discussion should focus on discovering shared insights, not on finding the perfect category for every note. The 1-2-4-all technique ensures everyone contributes. Participants first think individually, then discuss in pairs, followed by groups of 4 before sharing with the entire team. By gradually expanding the conversation, this approach balances individual thinking with collaborative learning and encourages participation from every team member. When a problem occurs, avoid stopping at the first explanation. The 5 whys technique helps teams uncover the real root cause by repeatedly asking why. The objective isn't to ask exactly 5 questions, but to move beyond symptoms and identify improvements that prevent the problem from happening again. In this example, user stories are repeatedly carried over from one sprint to the next. Instead of blaming the team, facilitate a 5 whys discussion to understand the underlying causes. Once the root cause is identified, agree on practical actions that improve future sprint planning and delivery. Not every important topic belongs in the current discussion. When off-topic issues arise, capture them in a parking lot instead of allowing the meeting to lose focus. This keeps the session on track while assuring participants that their ideas will be revisited later. Making a decision doesn't always mean everyone fully agrees. The first of 5 technique quickly measures the team's level of support. Participants vote from 0 to 5 fingers, allowing the facilitator to identify concerns, clarify disagreements, and build stronger commitment before moving forward. Lean Coffee is a participant-driven meeting format with no predefined agenda. Team members propose topics, vote on what matters most, and discuss each topic within a fixed time box. This simple approach keeps discussions relevant, democratic, and highly engaging. Retrospectives should explore both facts and emotions. The mad, sad, glad technique encourages participants to share frustrations, disappointments, and successes in a balanced way. This helps teams celebrate achievements while openly discussing opportunities for improvement in a psychologically safe environment. The sailboat retrospective uses a simple metaphor to visualize team progress. The wind represents what moves the team forward, the anchor identifies obstacles, the rocks highlight upcoming risks, and the island represents the desired destination. This format helps teams see both opportunities and challenges at the same time. Every meeting should create value. The return on time invested, or ROTI, is a quick way to measure that value. At the end of the session, ask participants to rate the meeting from 1 to 5. Use the feedback to continuously improve the quality of future workshops. Great facilitators don't provide all the answers. They ask better questions. Replace closed or judgmental questions with open-ended ones that encourage reflection and discussion. Questions beginning with what or how help teams explore challenges, generate ideas, and discover solutions together. Closed questions are useful for confirming facts or making final decisions, but they often limit conversation. Open questions encourage deeper thinking and richer discussions. By choosing the right type of question at the right time, facilitators create more meaningful collaboration and better outcomes. Facilitation is not about speaking more. It's about listening better. Practice active listening by paraphrasing key points, summarizing discussions, and paying attention to participants' emotions and energy. When people feel heard, they're more likely to engage, collaborate, and support the team's decisions. Every facilitator encounters challenging behaviors. Some participants dominate the discussion, while others rarely speak. Some resist change, and senior stakeholders may unintentionally influence the group. Your role is to manage the process, ensuring every voice has an opportunity to contribute and the discussion remains productive. When one person dominates the conversation, the goal isn't to stop them from contributing, it's to create space for everyone else. Use round-robin discussions, enforce time boxes, and politely invite quieter participants into the conversation. Balanced participation leads to better decisions. Not everyone is comfortable speaking in large groups. Give people time to think before asking them to contribute. Use silent brainstorming, pair discussions, or gentle invitations to lower the barrier to participation. Often, the quietest voices bring valuable perspectives. Disagreement is a normal part of collaboration. Rather than avoiding conflict, guide the team toward constructive conversations. Keep discussions focused on shared goals. Encourage evidence over opinions, clarify assumptions, and address tension before it becomes a bigger problem. Time boxing helps maintain focus and momentum. Set a clear time limit for each activity and make it visible to the group. If the discussion cannot reach a decision within the allocated time, capture the topic for later or use a prioritization technique to move forward. Virtual workshops require more intentional engagement. Encourage participation through polls, chat, breakout rooms, and digital whiteboards. Keep activities interactive and vary the format regularly to maintain attention. The principles of facilitation remain the same, even when the meeting is online. The right tools can significantly improve collaboration. Platforms like Miro and Mural support visual brainstorming. Mentimeter enables live polling, and Jira whiteboards connect workshop outputs directly to Agile execution. For in-person sessions, simple tools such as sticky notes and timers remain highly effective. Successful workshops start before the meeting begins. Before the session, confirm the objective, agenda, and participants. During the workshop, monitor engagement and capture key decisions. Afterwards, share action items, assign owners, and schedule follow-up activities. Consistent preparation leads to consistently better workshops. Before facilitating any workshop, spend a few minutes designing the session. Define the objective, choose the right activities, identify the decisions that need to be made, and consider potential risks. A simple facilitation canvas helps you prepare structured, engaging sessions that consistently deliver meaningful outcomes. Now it's time to apply everything you've learned. In this scenario, the team is facing repeated sprint delays, overloaded QA, and changing requirements. Your challenge is to design a 90-minute workshop that uncovers the root causes, aligns the team, and produces a realistic improvement plan using the facilitation techniques introduced throughout this course. Each team will work on a different scenario, such as sprint retrospective, product discovery, risk identification, or sprint planning. Choose appropriate facilitation techniques, define a clear workshop flow, and explain why your approach fits the objective. There is no single correct answer. The key is selecting the right process for the situation. Take a moment to reflect on your experience. Which facilitation technique felt most natural? Which one was the most challenging? Most importantly, think about one improvement you can make in your next meeting. Continuous improvement starts with self-reflection. Like any professional skill, facilitation develops over time. Every workshop is an opportunity to practice listening, asking better questions, managing discussions, and improving collaboration. The goal isn't to facilitate perfectly. It's to become more intentional and effective with every session you lead. Even experienced facilitators make mistakes. Avoid speaking too much, steering the team toward your preferred solution, applying agile practices without considering the context, or ignoring group dynamics. Remember, your responsibility is to guide the process, not control the outcome. Great facilitators pay attention to more than words. They know when to pause and let silence encourage deeper thinking. They monitor the team's energy and adjust activities when engagement drops. They also use simple visuals to help the group build a shared understanding of complex ideas. Learning only creates value when it's applied. Before finishing this course, identify 3 facilitation techniques you'll practice this week. Choose one recurring meeting to redesign, and select one soft skill, such as active listening or asking powerful questions, to improve through deliberate practice. Facilitation is a lifelong skill. Continue learning by reading recommended books, participating in Agile communities, and exploring digital collaboration tools. The more workshops you facilitate and the more feedback you seek, the more confident and effective you'll become. Great facilitators don't provide all the answers. They help teams discover them together. By creating psychological safety, encouraging participation, and guiding productive conversations, facilitators enable teams to make better decisions and achieve better outcomes. That's the true value of Agile facilitation. Congratulations on completing this course on Agile facilitation. We hope the techniques you've learned help you lead more engaging workshops and build stronger, more collaborative teams. Thank you for your participation, and we wish you success in your facilitation journey.